Hi, I'm Judy Joseph, your host for On the Town. Come along with me as we continue our coverage of the 22nd annual Cinequest Film Festival. I'm very excited to introduce my special guest today, Mark Bacci, film director. His film is 5 Hours South, which is premiering here at Cinequest. Mark, how are you doing today?
I'm great, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's great to be here and to be in the Intel VIP Lounge, right?
Yes, they have lots of candy and free chocolate and coffee, so they keep us jacked up on caffeine.
Okay.
No, it's been really fun. They've been really good to us. Everyone here has been really good to us.
They are. Mark, let's talk about your acting career in New York. Tell me about that.
Well, I'm originally from Toronto, and when I was 18, I decided I want to be poor. And so I moved to New York to study acting. I just had a passion for it. I just really loved my best friend, who was the DP of my movie. Just film buffs and just loved everything about it. And we realized that doing it in Toronto was not going to help us. So we both moved to New York at the same time. And I started studying with arguably some of the best acting teachers of American cinema, American dramatic arts. Sheila Gray, Suzanne Sheperd, who's a working actor herself. Robert Modica, who actually taught all the Turturros.
Oh.
Yes, he was a grumpy old man who was supposed to be Sonny in The Godfather and didn't get the part. So I spent years and years and years studying Meisner and method, which is Lee Strasberg, and comedy improv, a lot of comedy improv, and found myself making a living doing commercials. I was doing 6 to 10 national commercials a year and making enough money to live, a little actually better than that, and then it just led me to a ton of theater, so I was able to do all this stuff that I really, really enjoyed, and independent film and all that other stuff. So that's where that started.
How did you find, the time that you had to spend shopping around the script? How was that experience?
Again, I was fortunate. There was no shopping around. I pitched my first one. I pitched Lorenzo.
First one.
Yeah, I went in. He read something that I'd done with my writing partner at the time. He said, "What else you got?" And my writing partner was like, and I'm like, "Oh, we got this basketball movie." He's like, "What is it?" And I said, "It's a prison basketball comedy about an NBA ball player that has 12 months. He goes to prison for 12 months and has a chance at redemption by putting together a prison basketball team to play his former NBA team." And he's like, "I want it." A month later, they bought it, and that was that.
Congratulations.
So that part was easy, and I'm like, "This is easy. This is a joke. I like this business." And then the reality set in. And the reality, Hollywood now is worse. It's more difficult than it was then. The spec market is gone. Everything is taking longer and longer to get made. You have to tie so many aspects into one thing. It's not even about a good story anymore sometimes. It's about who's involved more than it is anything else. It's a long, arduous process, but I think some of us are all definitely slightly crazy to keep it up, because it's not money. It's not about money, that's for sure.
The film is inspired by true events.
Yes.
And I watched the trailer, and it looks great. I can't wait to see it, which is tonight.
6:30.
Tell our viewers about the film. Give me a little synopsis of the film.
Well, the film is based on a man who's in the film named Francesco Cippone. He was a cop in Calabria. He's from Puglia, but he was a police officer, carabinieri in Calabria, that had a chance to join this multinational dance crew because he was a good dancer, and his family went nuts. Like, what are you doing? Because then it's a little different now. If you quit being a carabinieri, you can't go back. That's it. You're out. And this is an impoverished country. This is not a wealthy country. As a cop, he was making €1,400 a month. Think about how little money that is. But to have a steady job like that is a big deal. So he left his girlfriend, his family, and Italian culture everywhere. Not just Italian, but other cultures are so tight-knit. It caused a lot of problems with what he had going on. But when he was younger, he was a bit of a troublemaker. And in the story, when he gets this opportunity to go to follow this dance crew, it kind of opens up Pandora's box, because an old friend from his life returns, and they share this dark secret that gets revealed as the movie plays along, and how one person deals with it and the other one deals with it. It's set in this odd dance world, but the truth is it's a blood pact wrapped in a romance. So at the end of the day,
Sounds very compelling.
It actually, it was an interesting. The producers, it was their first film, and this is the movie they wanted to make. Period. They didn't care. They were like, this is the movie we're wanting to make. It defied any business logic. It defied any genre logic. It's the opposite of what a dance movie would be. The happy ending is, there is no happy ending. It's an odd. I think if you actually sit back and watch it, you get to the end of it and you're like, oh, okay, I understand what this story is trying to say. It's not about fame. It's not even about pursuing your dreams. Which it's about understanding that there is people that love you out there, and that's really what matters at the end of the day. It's the people that love you.
You're working with some amazing actors, and one of them I noted was Jordan Bridges.
Yeah.
And he comes from the famous Bridges family, the dynasty of acting families.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Jordan and I have the same agent, and that's how I met Jordan. And I sent him the script, he read it, and I wanted him for the role of Luca. And we sat down and met, and we had so many things in common. And then he's like, I really want to play Mino, who's the antagonist in the film. And something just hit me. I'm like, because I've seen his work, he's always like this really nice, and I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I think this can work. And so we had to keep changing schedules. I mean, he owes me a huge favor because I changed the schedule. So because he's got his own TV show now called Rizzoli and Isle. It's on TNT. It's with Angie Harmon, I think, and he plays her sister. So I changed my entire schedule around for Jordan, so he could get this TV show and still come do the movie. So I was a little nervous because he doesn't have an Italian accent, and he's never played this kind of character before. And he showed up, and he nailed it. Like if you met him, he's like, "Hey man, how are you?" Like really nice, and then I start putting him in his clothes, and he's really well dressed. His hair's all slicked back, and he's walking around with this tape recorder, and he had taped one of the grips who spoke English, and he was just listening to it. And then we're talking hours for about to shoot, and we start shooting. All of a sudden, this odd Italian accent shows up, and to the point where everyone who's seen the movie does not know he's American or he's a Bridges. He was terrific. He did a really good job. We also have Donna Summer's daughter in the film. She plays. What's the character's name? Julia. She plays the dance choreographer.
So how did that come about?
We have the same agents. I basically went to my agency and I'm like, who's available?
You're a lucky agent.
Yes, we actually we have 5 people from my agency in the film, and then also the man who did the music, Damon Dash, who used to own Rockefeller Records with Jay-Z. He did all the music for next to nothing for free. So the film is heavily populated with music. There's almost 30 tracks in the film. Every scene has a song, it's almost like it's not even a score. It's because we wanted to really put music, because this culture, this kind of hip hop world that we're tapping into a little bit in Italy, they're big into hip hop and rap and all kinds of music like that you wouldn't expect. You kind of see that only as an American thing, even though we know it's global and it's international. But that was a good thing. But she was an amazing actor and an absolutely beautiful woman. And her sister has the closing track on my film, and she sounds exactly like her mom. Exactly like her mom.
I can't
really
wait to see the film now. This sounds so amazing.
It's a cool film. We're proud of it. We're proud of it because of how difficult it was to get it made and how difficult Italians are to work with. We love them, but
Yes, we do. Mark, what do you feel the audience will walk away with after seeing your film? What would you like them to walk away with after seeing 5 Hours South?
you know, my joke earlier about selling a script and having your dream about selling a script, and then the reality setting in of like, it's really not about. There's a line at the end of the movie: is that your life is made up of moments, some fleeting, but all defining. And so it was about capturing your whole life and looking back on it, and then being in it, and appreciating the constant. And what the constant is family. And that's what I hope. I hope people get away going, you know what? Yeah, I tried. I busted my butt, and I failed. And that's okay. Our culture nowadays, and I sound like an old man, but our culture nowadays is so focused on this illusion of what success is. And you can have all the money in the world and all the success in the world, and if your kids don't know who you are, who cares? If you don't have people who love you, who cares? What's the point of it all? It doesn't mean anything.
I agree.
So I think in a long-winded way, it's really about family.
Mark, let's go to Italy now.
Okay.
Tell me about your experience when you were filming in Italy.
I'll leave all the bad stuff out.
Okay.
But
what city, and kind of take it from there?
first off, it's the most amazing place to shoot. We decided, because I'm not from there, but I am Italian, and my DP, who's American as well, we were going to capture Italy as a postcard. And so every transition scene in the movie is literally a postcard. It's almost like watching in The Descendants, Alexander Payne had these beautiful postcard shots of Hawaii. My wife is from there, so you really have to understand it when you spend so much time there. And it was literally postcard, film, postcard, film. And so we went into this film with, it doesn't matter what the scene is, everywhere the camera's going, it's going to be gorgeous. Some of the jokes on the day were like, which direction you want to shoot? And we're like, I don't know, pick a direction. It was just so beautiful.
Bella Italia.
Oh my God. It's breathtaking. It's literally breathtaking. The people were great. The locals were great. A lot of passion. They love to fight. They love to argue.
And they make up a few minutes later like nothing happened?
Like nothing happened. They all drank during lunch. Whole crew's sitting there drinking during lunch. It's just part of their thing. And they're so headstrong. I mean, Italy only works 10 hours a day. That's it.
Right.
Unlike America when it comes to film. And that's it. It doesn't matter if you're not finished, they don't care. And you kind of have to accept it. And if you can, it's actually a great way to shoot movies. Because you're not exhausted.
You're
like,
not
hey, we're
exhausted,
gonna go have
working
dinner.
all hours and everything.
Yeah. But it's an incredible country.
Mark, this year's theme for Cinequest is never-ending passion. What is your passion? What are you passionate about?
I think the cliche thing that would say to be film, which I am passionate about, but it's also my job. And this is going to sound really odd, but you know what I'm truly, truly passionate about more than anything else? Bread.
That's good.
I make bread.
You do?
Yes. I make a lot of bread. I own a bakery in Toronto. And when I was in Italy, my assistant's father was a baker. And on my days off, I would take the train down to Calabria to go work for him. And I just found this like overwhelming love for yeast and bread.
Well, when it's baking, the smell, right?
The smell and just touching this, like watching this thing grow. You know, you can actually just take flour and you can create the organism of yeast. And so yeah, my huge passion right now is bread. I'm obsessed with making bread. I do it every day. My wife thinks I'm crazy. We have like hundreds of loaves of bread in the freezer because I'm just always making bread. So I have to say bread. There's something primal about it. I'm sorry, it's so weird, but it's true.
Well, Mark, I just want to say thank you again for the interview, and I want to wish you all the success in the world.
Thank you so much. We're really happy with this little strange film that we have.
I know it's going to do great.
Thank you.